Hey everybody, and welcome back to The Flame in the Flood. Aesop has gone invisible, being a very sneaky dog, as he is wont to do. But we are continuing on our run in an attempt to A, get super far, and B, well, in general, we're trying to get really far, but also we're trying to do our paleo diet. We've gotten some pretty good raft upgrades last episode, and we are continuing to look for more. We are in a crazy rainy biome, which is why it was a little surprising that we actually had a whole bunch of sunlight right there at the start. I imagine that was just the game loading in and going, oh yeah, he's in a rainy biome. There's a cattail inside the building, it would appear. Oh, it's around back, I see. Well, let's try not to attract any wolves. Which means just waiting until my stamina recharges so that I can actually take care of these guys. Just by scaring them off. You can shoot them, but they don't actually do anything about it, unfortunately. Alright, 1 second. I want to... Oh my. I'm very full of a lot of stuff. Eat that. Oh, we got the carnivore achievement. Man. This makes it tough. I'm gonna keep picking up feathers, though. What was in here? Yeah, flint. Can I, like, make an arrow with that? Yeah, I can make an arrow. That would open up some space. Actually, no, I don't have any flint on me at all. That's why. Alright, well, let's scare off this guy. See if we can get his feather. Very nice. And then let's head back real fast to our raft and clear out some space. Let's see, we do have... Oh man, like no space. Crap. Well, we do have flint, but it's not actually useful. Looks like we're probably going to get rid of this extra sumac, because I don't have anything else to do with it. Well, I guess what we could do is... Well, discard this for a second, so I can make some kindling. Sorry, tinder. Let's use our stove here. It's not quite dark yet, so... Looks like we've got a tree sitting right in front of this view, unfortunately. Let's craft some items here. We want to... I guess we want to cook some of this meat. That'll free up some space. We have some dandelion tea to make. And a gas bomb, because we've got some extra sumac and an extra jar. That just freed up a lot of places. Huh, I thought our water was full from last episode. I guess it either wasn't, or quitting and coming back empties it? It's rather odd. So that was the last sprinting I'm going to be doing in this exploration, and that is simply because we could, at any moment... Oh, I actually can't get there. Defense. Cruel. Because the wolves could come out at any second. Alright, so I'm going to discard this, because I don't need extra dandelions. I only picked up the dandelions because I had the spare moment too. Okay, I lied. I then just, like, immediately sprinted for a little bit. But we're done here, in terms of sprinting. And I think we're just done here in general. We don't need yucca. And I would like to avoid the wolves, if at all possible. We don't have a bear to do our dirty work. Did I search this? Yeah, I did. Alright, so away we go. I'm just going to immediately depart here and see if we can get to our next stop, because I don't remember how far our next stop was. Let's see if we can get to our next stop. No we won't. I might have been able to go the other way and get to that, but I don't think so. But yeah, hopefully we could have gotten there before twilight. I don't think I needed to dash there, but I wanted to be safe and ended up hurting myself. Yeah, if we had gotten there before twilight, we would probably have been wolf-free, but But at least enough to search something. Or a couple things. Got a marina. But I don't have enough to upgrade my last little bit just yet. I'm gonna see if I can get back up and out. There's snakes here, which I might be able to leverage to my advantage in wolf killing. We're gonna see how many wolves come at us here. It looks like we're not. There's not enough close, even though I'm hearing a lot of hissing. You know what? Let's actually sleep. Let's sleep first. We're at 35. So let's try going to 75. This will put us at 110. We'll knock down a good bit of our hunger and water, but I'm not worried about water just yet. We actually got really high. It is morning and our fatigue is at 95. The wolves should be gone because we waited so long. Okay, no they're not. Yeah, it seems like that's become a thing now, that the sleeping doesn't necessarily accomplish what you would hope. Well, stuff is getting bitten. I don't quite know what, but stuff is getting bitten. Just getting everything all set up. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get back over to the right. We might be able to, but it'll be tough. Or not as tough as I thought. No nuts and bolts for us there. I'm gonna see if we can get to this church. I believe the answer is no. Yeah, not happening, which means this marina stop is not useful either. We don't have enough nuts and bolts. Or maybe we do. One second. I'm just gonna double check. Better safe than sorry. I'm pretty sure we don't, but better safe than sorry. We need 3 and 3 and 3, which I don't think we have. We've got those, but not the nuts and bolts. We need 3 more nuts and bolts. Better check and know for sure, especially since it's been a little while since I looked and counted how many nuts and bolts I had. Still in the rainy biome. Once again, rainy biome does not drive me crazy. That was probably unnecessary. Almost crashed into the shore. Ooh, I see a bridge. Can I make it to that bridge? No, because I'm too dumb and I'm crashing into stuff when I really shouldn't be. I could have repaired myself at that marina. Oh, well, we've got a chance here. We can find 3 nuts and bolts here at Camp Whittier. We will have our last raft upgrade. Which would be nice. Bunch of wolves. Hopefully that does not attract the wolves. It was just one caw. Looks like it didn't. I can't use a torch to get the wolves out of my way. And I may have made a mistake. Well, they came after me, but they didn't quite manage to make it. Alright, so I think we're gonna go and... We're actually going to stop at the marina, and maybe I'll throw a repair patch together. Because the motor is not something I'm particularly worried about. I'll be honest. I've said it before, and we use it occasionally, but not particularly often. Yeah. Still need 4 nuts and bolts. I'm not going to worry about that last 10 just yet. Not until we have no other not until we have no other use for nuts and bolts and lumber, save for repairs. Jerky is a beautiful find. Effectively the best thing you can find. Second best being salt. I did put in my suggestion to the developers of a way of drying meat. Based on my research, it is possible... Are we in a new biome? Nope, not quite. It's possible to go ahead and dry meat without using very much salt. But it still requires some base amount of salt, it seems. So my suggestion was a meat rack, probably like, you know, right there on the very front of the ship, or maybe back, you know, somewhere on the raft. That allowed you to do multiple things of salt, multiple jerky at once, but it would still cost you like 1 salt. Like 1 salt for 4 meat or something like that. I figured a ratio like that was fair. Oh wow, 3 jerky? Wonder what gave us that. I'll have to check here in a minute. I want to go this way because there's some poison ivy over there. But yeah, that was my main suggestion. Hello, bear. I have no qualms with you, bear. This is nice. I actually don't need the schematic at all. Alright, it is now officially a fishing line run. We have so many fishing lines. Pretty sure I heard wolf owls. Right, that was the rest schematic. Yep. I want to watch, but I don't want to die, so... Don't murder me, Mr. Bear. Alright. You know what, I actually do need penicillin, turns out. I do not have a full stack. So I'm gonna go back and get that. After the bear is done with his rampage, which he is, leaving the broken, battered corpses of his enemies. Alright. Forgot that I didn't have actually a full stack 10, so... Now I'm gonna have to clear some space for the meat of the wolves. I'm not gonna take their furs. It's just not worth it. Well, jerky goes on Aesop, so... What are we getting rid of? The filter with 1 use left? Or the wild garlic, because I'm never eating it. Oh. Well, A, this. Okay, good, that correctly distributed. We want to have room for everything. I could make 3 more arrows, that would work. I have so many feathers. It's actually impressive how many feathers I have. That opens up 1 spot that we can put uncooked meat in. It's actually time to eat one of these. Oh, I guess carnivore probably got us that. I should check. Let's do the check. Carnivore, yep, 3 jerky. Beautiful. I do not know where the other wolf's body is. I have a feeling it is sitting in an inconvenient location that I will not be able to acquire. There wasn't anything over here that I wanted, was there? Now I forget. Oopsie. I think we got everything. Fine, I'll take the wild garlic. Oh, I can't. Ha. Oh, here it is. Can't quite see it with this here. But luckily I chose to walk down there. Alright, beautiful. So let's sleep, it'll be morning. It will be nice and morning. I think. Yep, nice and morning. I'm going to leave the raft real quick. Just in case we leave this biome, I would like to be fully watered. That includes real life. Beautiful. So delicious. I like myself some water. I feel like this game makes me thirsty. Like, a long time ago. A very long time ago. When I was a Boy Scout. I went on a high adventure camp. And, high adventure camps are basically... I mean, they're basically like extreme camping trips. They take things like a little bit further than normal. And the one that I went on was called Double H Ranch. It was out in New Mexico. And basically, we were given a map, a GPS, and said, your goal is to make it here and camp here every day. So we basically got given a new campsite every day, and the GPS coordinates of said campsite, and we took each day basically tracking, oh yay, a new place, oh, Slow River, crap. Well, we're going to be doing a lot of boosting. Yeah, so every day we got a new location to make our camp, and we had to get there before it was dark, and set up camp, and then sleep. So we were carrying everything on our backs. We had, you know, our tents, our sleeping rolls, everything. Which is about 40 to 60 pounds of stuff. 60 being closer to what you had basically when all your water was full and you know, things like that. It was a lot of weight, but you know, we were young kids, we could take it. And of course we had some parents along as well, some chaperones, and you know, we were going to be working hard, but we weren't actually going to be in any danger, that sort of thing. And so every day, the morning we woke up, we pinpointed on the map where our next camp was going to be, and we basically tried to beeline it there. And of course, it's New Mexico, which isn't the flattest place ever. There were a lot of, you know, various hills, and we climbed a mountain. It's a very small mountain, just to get to the top and look out. But there's one day in which it was the longest time that we actually had to travel, the longest actual distance. I still have a full inventory. So that super long distance, it basically took all day. You only get like, I don't know, 11 or 12 miles a day, and that's because you're carrying just so much stuff. That's literally the reasoning, is you're carrying so much stuff that you can't travel very fast. And it makes sense. When you're carrying that much weight, which for us kids was at least 50% of our weight over again. For most of us. And it was fun, don't get me wrong, a lot of fun. But it was tough work. I actually don't have any more room for... Actually, wait. Yeah, I remember this now. So yeah, it was it was rough, but it was a lot of fun. But this one day was the longest day we had to travel. I think we actually had to travel like 14 miles. And so, as stated, you generally only make it 11 miles in a day. So we had to go a little bit further than normal, which meant it was going to take a little bit longer. And that day is the day that most of us ran out of water. And not by much. We were a little low on water. We each had at least... We all had a Camelback that was at least a liter, maybe 2, and then we each had a couple, an Nalgene or 2. So we had a lot of water. But we did, kind of right near the end, run out. We went, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm out of water. And that feeling is one that you remember, turns out. When you don't, we knew we were going to get to camp soon, but we also were out of water. And the thing is, the water that was there wasn't the most potable water in the world. We were also carrying water filters. And so you basically had to sit there and pump water through the water filter. It's like a charcoal water filter. Much like the one that we have on this raft, go figure. Well, in our storage on this raft. And so when we got there, like we did, we got to our campsite, and at the campsite was this really big... it was basically what would probably pass for a pool. Had the water been clean, you probably could have gone swimming in it. But yeah, it was a pool, a giant pool of water. And, oh, we're gonna get some free meat. Hopefully. Maybe, yeah. I don't need the rags. Sorry, I just wanna line up the shot here. Where are the other snakes? Man, he traveled some distance. So yeah, we at the end of the day reached camp, and we were all a little thirsty. We weren't, like actually dying of thirst or anything. Wasn't anything too crazy, but we were thirsty, and we'd probably been going for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes without any water. And once again, that sounds a little odd, but remember, you're walking around up and down elevations with, an extra 60 pounds, 40 to 60 pounds on your back. You get thirsty a lot. And staying hydrated is really important. So, we've been going for a little bit without water, and we finally reach, maybe it was even an hour, it's been a while. We were all really thirsty. And so we finally got there, and having the water sitting right there and not being able to do anything about it, like, you do not drink that water without filtering it. So, and those pumps, the pump filters, are actually really slow, turns out. And so we're going to sleep for the 50, because 57, we'll still be under 100. But yeah, so we were really thirsty, and we... Oh wait, are we actually full? 1 second, I need to do something then. Oh no, we're at 97. But we need to be at 100 in all stats for an achievement, so I'm looking to accomplish that. Anyway. So you're sitting there, slowly filtering your water, and we're talking like, I don't know, maybe a cup a minute? Like, that's not very much at all. You can drink a cup of water in like 2 gulps if you're really thirsty. And we're doing this for a group of maybe 16, I think, if you included the adults and all that. So it was like, we're really thirsty, and we've got a whole bunch of water to pump. It's just that feeling, because of course we gave the water. Those of us who were pumping had a little bit of water first, just because we're the ones who are actually exerting ourselves a little bit more. That was kind of the, most of us had water filters. I'm pretty sure almost everybody had water filters, but there were a couple who didn't. Wow, something I couldn't actually pick up. So, but we're just sitting there doing that, and just that, looking at the water, and knowing that you can't currently drink it, because either you've just barely pumped any and you don't want to, because you had to take the filter, put it in the water, put the one hose in the water, and then it actually was like kind of a top that almost screwed onto your Nalgene bottle a little bit. So you would have to open it up, unscrew it, and like, you didn't want to just pump a little bit and then take a really small sip. You really wanted to get like the bottle full before you stopped, or at least halfway. But just that sitting there looking at the water, not yet being able to drink it, and just being really thirsty. Let me tell you, that is a feeling you do not forget very quickly, and that's the kind of thirsty this game makes me sometimes. Just because I'm playing, I'm talking, which is drawing out my mouth, obviously, just a little bit. Oh no, I'm a churchgoer, cool. And then, of course, the fact that, oh look, just imagining how thirsty that is. Like, I can imagine, like, I understand that feeling of this thirsty. And it makes me thirsty thinking about it. I don't think I have room for that, yeah. So yeah, that's my story about being thirsty. Corn-fed. Really, a leather kit? I get a leather kit for being a churchgoer? I mean, hell yes. I want to save the grubs. I can't eat this yet. Soon, though. I'll come back for that leather kit. Man, no wildlife. There's an achievement for like sleeping in 20 churches or something. How many rags do I actually have now? There's only 30. Okay, I don't feel as bad about it then. Having a third stack. I should just cook my meat. I should just go ahead and do that. That'll let me go back and get the leather kit. I also need to drink some water. And I'm going to do that in real life while drinking water here. Refreshing. Very refreshing. Staying very hydrated is very good for your body. I'm going to discard this so I have room for my tinder. Let's use our stove. I'm just going to cook all of this since we don't have any salt. Because I don't think we have any salt. I would have used it up right away. Oh man, that could have been salt. It could have been. That we tried picking up but couldn't because our inventory was full. Alright, I think it's time to ditch all the wolf hides. I don't think there's anything I can use them for. I already have all the wolf hide equipment that I want. And I think I'm also going to go ahead and discard the one remaining use water filter. Because we do not need this many jars of water now that we have the purifier. So we'll put this in backlog. We will put... No, probably not the rags. Actually, yes, probably the rags. What am I going to use the rags for? Alright, I think we're doing pretty good. So, we'll leave the raft. Do not want to depart. That would be bad. It's this one that's the jar. Beautiful. Let's go get that leather kit. We do need to stash up on... Let's see, there's hat, gloves, pants, boots. Oh darn, that's an extra stack. Hat, gloves, pants, jacket, boots. 3 of those are 1, so we need 7. That's right, we need 7 stitching kits. 7 leather kits and 7 stitching kits to make a full set of bear. Now technically we can omit 2 of those because we have the white wolf jacket, which is better than a bear. Same warmth. I might actually need to make one to get the achievement, wear a full set of bear. We'll decide when the time comes if I want to actually make that attempt. If it's worth me attempting to kill another bear for that achievement. It probably will be. But it'll depend on how safe I feel. How good I think our bear killing is. Okay, wolf. Okay, good. Hey, boar. You guys do whatever you're gonna do. I'm going to go ahead and look around. At least being able to distract them is useful. Means that every now and again, when a wolf shows up, it's not actually an issue. Do I want more cattails? I've got 40 in backlog. Yeah, I've got 50. I think I'm going to be okay. Stove extinguished. I actually want to make sure. Is this a new stack? Do we have 2 full stacks of alcohol? Yes. So, about drunk. Once again, I still haven't actually used any of the alcohol to drink in this game. Mostly because I know it's a bad idea. If I were in a survival situation, I would probably not drink. I could have stopped there. I want to get out of the slow river biome. It is one of the most annoying because we are probably going to spend the rest of this episode in here, which is definitely suboptimal. At least we got some good music going on. Also, I can do stuff like this. And eat in the middle of our rafting trip. I'm going to wait until I'm a little bit more thirsty so I can use the water purifier. I shouldn't have actually used the jar of water earlier. That said, the slow part of the river we actually do make some decent mileage. And that's just because I try not to stop as much. Because the wastelands really don't give us much of anything. It's unfortunate that we've hit wastelands this often. Okay, I need some nuts and bolts because there's a marina. You can do it, wasteland. The Isle of Kyle. Oh, that's fantastic. Let's see. Meat Chef. We are seeing duplicates. Duplicate goals. So far, no wildlife. Okay, so far snake. Means I should travel a little slower than a dead run. So 2 snakes. All I see is 2 snakes. So we're not killing any wolves with them. We might as well go. We might as well sleep. Oh wow. I should have slept earlier. We're at 33, so let's go ahead and sleep for 5 hours. 62. And that should put us at a nice spot. We're probably gonna have to drink from here. Yeah, let's go ahead and drink some water. Thirst quenched. Yes, indeed. Oh, whoops. I would actually like to just depart. Alright, another morning. Another not useful marina. Wait till our stamina goes up. We're definitely looking for another more industrial biome again to come up. Because we do still need nuts and bolts. And once we reach day 40... Oh wow. Whoa. Sorry. Because we're right here by the marina, there's like that free-floating ability where you can kind of guide the raft around in circles. And I got caught in that without expecting to. But yeah, we're looking to finish upgrading the raft just so that it's done, and then we don't have to hold on to raft schematics, so that frees up a permanent slot that we've basically had allocated for a while now. It also means that when we get nuts and bolts, we can just craft them straight into repair patches. Which, while it still takes up space, because you can only stack them up to 5, you can only stack lumber up to 5, and so nuts and bolts are useful for a couple other things, though once we have bear kits, we won't need them for nearly as much. Pretty much at that point, they'll be needed for making new tools, and that's about it. But that wouldn't be the worst thing ever either, so basically we'll replace all instances of... Oh, nice corn. All instances of that's going to go bad before we have a chance to eat it, unless we find more corn and make rice cakes. We'll use basically what would have been lumber stacks as... Wooden lumber stacks would now be stacks of repair patches. You use old lumber also for making fire, like the actual placeable fires, which, by the way, I haven't used in an eternity. That's right, I don't have any room for flint because I have corn now. Alright, we'll discard this one sapling and pick up flint because flint is useful to have. Nothing. Buckus. Alright, it's fine by me. It's not the greatest thing, but you know. I don't want to deal with a boar. Don't need to kill rabbits. Or should I? I don't have any place to put them is the problem. I'm also tempted to get rid of those 6 fishing lines. I just have so much stuff now. We're totally full up on so many things. Like the ash cake and the grubs. Like the grubs are actually kind of a problem. I should probably just throw them out. Or, well, sorry, not throw them out. Actually just eat them. But they, like the jerky, are like forever. You can hold them, but I just don't have a stack of 10 of them. So I think this is the right call. I can go ahead and throw like the leather kit here. I should probably have slept, but I can just head over here. Probably explore this and sleep when I'm done. There's probably gonna be wolves, so it's not actually that big of an issue. Humbugs River? Is that the river that we're on? So if it's the river Humbug, that's gonna be rather odd. Yeah. We'll just sleep now, so I don't have to deal with all the wolves. We're at 50, so 50 we shall sleep. Once again, not worried about hitting 100% for sure. Oh, dang, there was a bear. Oh wait, that's okay. I haven't actually left. Didn't hit depart, so I can go and check it out. Why they don't all attack at once, I don't know. That was bad. I tried running away. That was a mistake. Yeah. Make my portrait look all nasty. This was my own fault. You know, I wonder if that counts as eating plants. Because if it does, I'm gonna hate my life. Nope. Not messing with you, bear. Alright, so where is our lovely friend, the third wolf? I'm gonna take free meat wherever I can get it. It's a good question. The third wolf always seems to be just stupidly hard to find. Like, it ran away and got itself killed somewhere. Somewhere obscure. Unless it's like exactly where the other wolf is. No, I would notice that. Or yeah, it's 4 legs. There's not like an extra 4 legs hidden somewhere. I just don't see it. So sure, whatever. The bear needs to eat too, so I'm okay with this. Is it worth cooking it right now? Maybe? This fire is also a problem. Like, I don't need it anymore. I've got my stove. So, do I really want to hold on to it? I'm not quite sure if I do. But I'm going to press onwards regardless. Push. We can get out of this biome eventually. Looking for rapids, basically. Raptors. Yeah, no. Rapids are the harbinger of a new biome, basically. It seems to always be true. Right when the biome ends, we've got a brand new set of rapids just waiting to carry us on. So I'm really keeping my eye up here and hoping. Which isn't useful because I'm not looking at my raft, and also I'm not looking at my stamina bar, which is why I don't always use my boost the second I've got it. Still looking for nuts and bolts though. The marinas are everywhere. Like, everywhere. We've seen more marinas this episode than we did like all of last episode, and we're only, oh gosh, I guess we are 40 minutes in. Feels like it's been barely any time. Which, considering we've been running around rapids, or sorry, running around wasteland on a slow river, probably a good thing. That bear is dumb. Why? Why would you sleep there? Is that comfortable? I'm not gonna be able to get to some of these bodies. Only 2 wolves. Interesting. I don't want to get caught in this crossfire. What? No, 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 no. Okay, so, I don't know how I aggroed the bear, but I did. Luckily, I was close enough that I was able to escape. Ouch. Ouch. That's all I gotta say is ouch. That hurt a lot. But it did open up some space for saplings. And this is a positive. I don't like you, bear. You're on my bad side. You're lucky I just don't outright kill you. That moment when the bear starts running towards you, it's like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do a single thing to hurt you. Leave me alone. Fix her up. I am, in fact, thirsty. Boar, I do not feel like having another broken bone today. Okay. I do need rags now, too. I want to see if this changed. What? Lol. It's making the wolf sound effects. You know what, sure, I used some arrows. I'm gonna craft them right here. Oh, darn. I've only got one flint on me. I will make another arrow over here while I'm by my raft and can take some of my flint from there. But yeah, funny. That's not what I was expecting. But I can pick up the sapling to make up for that arrow right here, so I'm going to do it here. Yeah, I know you've still got your wolf hide. How about the other one? Does the other one have a crow landed on it? No. It's rather odd. I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that I didn't kill the wolf personally. But regardless, I don't think it's particularly important. Alright, cool. For now, I think we're good. Let us continue on our way. Our merry way. Let's stop here. See if there's any nuts and bolts here. I do need 4 nuts and bolts, which is very unlikely. Especially because most of the cars that I find... Discardia. Interesting. Most of the cars I find here aren't even searchable. It's getting close to nighttime, so I do need to be wary. But it's no longer in rainy biomes, so I can pull out my torch. So I don't need to be nearly as worried about dying to wolf attack. There are at least 3 wolves here. And a boar, it turns out. Had to backtrack a little bit there. Huh, not very observant wolves if you ask me, but I'm once again completely okay with that. So we're just going to go ahead and bypass this marina. No reason to stop here. Now looks to be officially night. Very peaceful night. I guess that's what you get when the wasteland doesn't at all do stuff. But you know, whatever. Not much to talk about, so I apologize. We were just looking. I mean, yeah, our goals are to get some nuts and bolts and proceed onward. But really, we just want to go. We just want to be out of this biome. Any other biome is better than this biome. This biome takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. I actually have to pay attention to my stamina bar. Most of the time that's not an issue at all. Unfortunately, we travel so slow that the fact that I didn't sleep right when we left the last place means that I am not going to get to sleep until I'm already going to be a little bit in the morning. I'm going this way because we've got it closer. Oh, and we've got shopping carts. And is it about... Oh, it's about to rain. Good for me. That's going to make it nice. I don't have to use what's in my filter. Salt. Beautiful find. And a raft schematic. Don't need it, but... I do want to get all the way over here. One of the positives of a slow area of river. I am woefully unprepared, it would seem. Drink. Refill. Oh, it's not actually raining. It just got super cold. Okay, interesting. Not what I was expecting, to be honest. Need some food. I'm gonna go ahead and make some jerky. And I guess we go exploring. I do need to go to sleep, but maybe there's a bear here. Hello. You got really freaked out. You got scared almost as much as I did, you dumb wolf. 31. I'm actually only going to sleep for 5 hours. I could push it a little bit to try and get higher, but we're going to be then into the middle of the day, which is unfortunate. Ooh. Snakes. I'm okay with snakes. I like using snakes against other creatures. Something is going on over here. Boar killer. I'm going to have all the tasks. You're a dummy wolf. And I'm gonna get you killed. Just you wait. That snake had a wonderful time. I'm gonna chill out over here. The wolf will come. This one will be a little bit harder. But we will wait patiently as I try and go through stuff. Is there anything here that I want to get rid of? I don't know. Hey, stop. Leave the snake alone. Basically, I can't move over here in order to manipulate the wolf, which could make it bad if it comes from this direction. But in that case, I'll try and lure it down here, loop around, push it back, and then move up here. But until that time... problem solved. Waiting a little bit of time for meat, I think, is more than worth it. Alright. We shall be on our way. Taking care of wolves. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh man. Slow river. Lake Forest. It's also the name of the suburb I know of. Sprinting in little spurts. Said tons of feathers. Flint is definitely the limiting resource in terms of arrow creation. I'm going to ignore you, Crow. It doesn't look like there's anything of particular use here. I'm definitely feeling a little bit of mixed opinion on stopping at these. There have been some that have been very worthwhile, and some that are very useless. I feel like the Wasteland has a larger standard deviation than other places. It's more likely to be more useful or less useful. If you're not aware of, if you don't know statistics language, it basically, standard deviation is just like, how to explain it? Well, here's the end of the biome, thank goodness. But standard deviation is Portage Creek. Is the way of saying how likely it is for something to be different than the average. Or that's not actually quite right. How close it is likely to be, or how far from average it is likely to be. So obviously, when you're talking about averages kind of lack a little bit of explanation to them, right? So let's say you're taking the average of 4 numbers, because who knows? There's some reason. It's not actually relevant to your reasoning. Much like a lot of math exercises. Doesn't matter exactly why this is happening, but you are measuring numbers and taking an average. And let's say for situation A, you measure the 4 values 5, 5, 7, 7. So let's say those. You're measuring how long it takes for something to happen. You have 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 7 seconds. Obviously, your average is 6 seconds, but your standard deviation is rather low because the numbers are close to the average. Whereas, oh, whoops, I didn't actually want to pick that up. Oh, this is beautiful. This is going to save me from using my water even more. Nice. But let's say you were to do that same experiment and measure, 1, 1, 15, 15. Oof. Luckily, I did not get any bug bites there. So your average, it'd be 1, 1, 13, 13. Your average is still 7. You are still averaging 7 seconds. But notice how those situations are vastly different. I mean, if you're saying, like, how long it takes for... Well, no, I can't do, like, a marble down a hill. You wouldn't get that sort of deviation. But you can tell that those two sets of numbers are very different. And the fact that both of them are expressed as an average of 7 is rather misleading to somebody who's just looking at it, right? Like, oh, this averaged 7, this averaged 7. But if you say this averaged 7 and was 6s and 8s... Actually, I've already changed my example a little bit. I think. I've lost track of which numbers I was using. So, but 6s and 8s, average 7, versus 1s and 13s, average 7, you're talking two very different results. And somebody who is looking at that, I need to sleep. And somebody who's looking at that is going to take a lot more from your data, knowing that the averages were that, or that what your actual results were closer to your average versus further from your average. And that's what standard deviation is. Standard deviation is how likely it is to be far, or how likely a distance kind of... It's not exactly that, but that's what standard deviation represents. I can't... The math is not something I can do on the fly. Like, it isn't... There are, there are formulas for all that, and statistics thing, and it's a very interesting thing, too. But the standard deviation basically covers that difference. Which makes it a very interesting data set to look at for various things. And it's something that's worth, it's worth knowing if you're looking into something like that. So, I guess to iterate upon what I was saying, it makes it... Actually, I should go get those feathers if I can. I feel like the standard deviation for wasteland locations is higher. Because it is... Basically, standard deviation is like... And this number is going to be wrong, but like 30% of the time it's this far away sort of thing. If that makes sense. So, there's the feather. There we go. So yeah, so it's like 30% of the time it's going to be this far away kind of thing. It takes a lot more samples than just 2, or 4 in our case, to to get yourself an actual standard deviation if you're doing anything that requires numerical measurement. But I think at this point I am so far into the rabbit hole that those of you who understood what I was just saying either probably already know what standard deviation is, or you didn't know what it was, and while I've given you a general concept, I've still confused you a little bit. Oh gosh, dang it. That needs to not be a thing. So yeah, I hope that all made sense to you, because that's going to be what ends this episode, because their next landing is where I'm going to be stopping. So I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. We've discussed some very interesting things, all the way from Boy Scouts and being thirsty to standard deviation. Yeah, it's kind of weird like that. It's foggy. See, the fog is a metaphor for everything I've been talking about. It's hazy. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. We've made it a fairly good distance. We are very close to being able to abandon our paleo diet. Hopefully that will be in the middle of next episode, which will be the last episode of the week, I believe. And yeah, we do have some hunger to take care of. I need to be steering better. We're still looking for our last raft upgrade, or materials for our last raft upgrade. But otherwise, we're going pretty solid. We're building up some stores of jerky, killing lots of stuff without spending resources, which is beautiful. And yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time, and until then, keep your gears turning.